You're so fucking stupid. This is dumb. She's dumb. Okay. Let's see if it worked. Okay, give me a second. My vagina feels like it's on fire. That's great. I love that for me. God, my body feels like I'm about to fucking throw up. Beep, 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 beep. And then this, and then this, and then that. And then poop, and there we go. Okay. Okay. So, I'm probably going to talk into nothing here. I'm making this video. I'm making the thumbnail right now, and I'm finishing. I can't really edit anything, but like I'm trying to at least edit the beginning part of it, and that's gonna be like a whole fucking thing. And it might just erase half of what I edited. I don't even know anymore. But it's a dumb. But I wanted to talk about this a little bit here. Because I don't know, I just wanted to express myself. There's a part of this that's excuse me, there's a part of this that just bothers the shit toast out of fucking me. There's this girl called, I want to say her name is Normality or Normality or it's something dumb. And my thing is that I watched her video because I think a lot of people were actively like, I'm not touching this from what I could see, or people that I care to watch are like, I'm not touching this shit. And so I was like, I'll touch it. Like, I want to know what this trash fire is. And so I ended up watching her video and a few of her videos. And I watched her most recent one and the one that she's referencing in that one, which is the one she made before that. And God, this girl is just a different type of stupid. And I don't want to be mean like that and call her straight up stupid, but it it's those type of people who are like, I fucking know what I'm talking about. Like, I did my research, and like, it's so obvious that they're just kind of they're going off of the confirmation bias they have, you know? And it's like, I don't, I just want you to think about what you're saying for a minute, you know? Just consider that possibly you're wrong. And that's a very important thing. And usually I'm just like, whatever. If I feel some type of way about something and they feel like that they're right, I don't even want to try to have them feel like their feelings are invalid, especially if they have good points and maybe it's not necessarily fact, but at least they have research. But this girl barely has that. And so that's where it's just like, oh, okay. You're just talking into the air about how you feel and trying to make that like a factual statement, and it's not. It's your opinion. And basically she made several videos I have several problems with, but my main issue is her thought that, like, I don't want to call it lolicon because not all of it is. It's just her perception of it. Like lolicon-esque material or things like that. Just all of that type of stuff or falls under that umbrella is child. It's child porn. People who draw it, like, it's a lot. And while I'll agree with her that I think it's kind of degenerate, you know what I mean? I don't really enjoy that type of stuff, nor do I feel like nor do I feel like that type of stuff is appropriate. I wouldn't say appropriate. I just don't fuck with it. I'm not comfortable with it. I don't watch stuff like that, or I don't find amusement when I see stuff like that. Um, it's definitely not fucking child porn. It's definitely not illegal. And I mean, for the simple fact that she saw this stuff, she put it in her thumbnail, she researched it, she has probably saved pictures of it so she could edit it in. You were actively admitting to watching, distributing child porn in your logic, by the logic that you are putting out there. If this was illegal in any way, shape, or form in the United States of America, you are going to jail. You are going to jail. I think I know the I said it in the beginning, but yes. You know what video I'm talking about. And yes, yes. Also, hi. Hi. We're talking about how this girl's kind of dense in the head. I'll reiterate what I just said, so just in case you missed it. Yeah, yeah. That's what we're talking about. I'll reiterate just so you just in case you didn't hear, you don't want to play it back. I was referring how her logic doesn't make sense and her video, well, basically her logic didn't make sense. Her video was poorly done. I'm doing a video on it today. This is the thumbnail for said video, or I'm trying to figure it out. Anyways, this is gonna be the thumbnail for said video. I literally have all the audio and shit done and edited. I just need to like edit the first beginning part and then put it all together. I'm literally done with this video basically. But I want to talk about a point that I had to make at the like a quick edit I had to do at the beginning of the video because she doesn't understand. Wait, who is this? They say in the comments, but basically it's a YouTuber who is has been on a roll talking about very controversial stuff, being very loud and wrong, and very, it's kind of my way or the highway, or if you don't agree with me, you just haven't done your research type of person. It kind of reminds me of how people felt about like Dolly Guts and what she was doing. Or, I'm sorry, Salem and how they were doing. My bad. I keep forgetting. Oh, God. That whole situation frustrates the shit out of me. I keep doing that. I'm sorry. My bad. I haven't talked about that in a while. But Salem and what they were doing. Or does it go by Salem or is it now something different? I think it's Salem now. But how people were treating them and what they were doing and all of that. Where they were, for sure, she's sexualizing children, she's doing stuff she's not supposed to, it's all of that. And while I won't fight her, this person rather, on her examples, I can see what she's talking about. She was trying to make the argument that in like here it's illegal. And I'm trying to make the argument, can you read? Do you not realize that everything that you're saying in the video applies to you as well? So you can't say it's illegal here, you'd go to jail, it's not a thing. When, first of all, we have movies like Cuties that came out, those are real kids. Second, you put it in your thumbnail. You're basically, that whole video was you admitting that you have CP on your computer, if that was the case. If young anime-looking girls or coded children, I hate you guys know I know coded stuff. It's stupid. But if the coded children were a real thing that you could be prosecuted for, if that's how it was, you would be really going to jail right now for all your research. I don't think they understand that. It doesn't matter how much research you want to do, how edgy you think you are, how much you know what you're talking about, how much you think you know what you're talking about, how much you think it's right, it makes sense. Jail still exists for everybody, and the rules have to be followed by anybody. people who are what word I'm looking for? Like people who investigate like cases with child porn. They don't get to just watch as much as they want. That's not how it works. The law applies to them as well. Some in some cases it doesn't, but when it's like the people investigating it, it very much applies to them as well. So for you, a dumbass YouTuber putting it in your thumbnail or putting something like that in your thumbnail or putting something like that. Oh, she didn't put all of it. No, she didn't put it in your thumbnail, but you get what I'm saying. Putting it in your thumbnail, putting it in the video, putting it on your computer, it would apply to you as fucking well. Do you get what I'm saying? I can't with her. And then I think most people like me watched her videos, looked at her sources, and was like, oh, yeah. So some of your sources straight up contradict what you're saying. You didn't read 2 lines down, is what you're telling me? You did all this research and remember to politely say in the comments that people are wrong. You didn't look 2 lines down. It's funny. I don't want to be mean to this girl. I've been trying to be on the positivity train somewhat or trying to lighten my load when it comes to being negative. Well, there's 2 videos in particular that I'm going to do. This one today and another one like sometime this week, hopefully. One's about racism, about the weird foot fetish guy, the racism, and this one. And I can't put those images, like that many images in, but I get that people know what I'm talking about. I might, hopefully, if it doesn't disappear on me, or fuck up in some way, shape, or form, I might be able to put in the images that she made. Because there's another thing she made, which I have to get that on for this thumbnail as well. She made, I wouldn't say it's not porn. It wouldn't be considered her version of porn, but it's sexual. She sexualized the child characters from My Hero Academia. Took people all 2 seconds to see that. And so it's like, is it okay? So it's okay, like, again, with your logic, and how this is working out for you, jail. Or you're a gross person. Because she made a whole stink about they're trying and comparing actual predators to people who draw that, which is just not okay. It's not right in general. If you want to think that type of stuff is creepy, you can. Because I do. I'm telling you this now, and I'll tell you in this video. I think this shit is creepy. Alright? I don't find this amusing. I don't like it personally. You know? It's just an anime, so I just kind of gotta grit my teeth through it sometimes. But I don't find this stuff like, I'm getting, like, I've gotten, even before I think I had this kind of realization that this is kind of weird, degenerate behavior. I was kind of just like, I'm not, like, it's kind of cheesy. I don't, it doesn't need to be here. But if you think it's not okay, that's fine. If you want to find data on why it might harm people, that's fine. But the lack of that in her video is, it's just crazy because her attitude is just respectfully tell people they're wrong. And she's just so loud and wrong, and she takes months to make her videos and they're edited well, so it's not like it's just me quickly saying some bullshit out of my head, which I never do that, but still quickly saying some bullshit out of my head. You took the time to do it, and you just don't see what you said back, or how what you said will contradict what you said here, or that you're actively telling people with very to little proof that this action is even somewhat connected. She'll make connections between actual predators and people who aren't fucking predators, or that she will just see as creeps. Which you can make an argument for someone being a creep, but you cannot just generalize it as, well, see, they're a creep, but they're also doing this. Because I can say, because in her, by what she's saying, I can make the connection that a lot of teachers are predators. Because a lot of teachers, be preying on kids, or especially a lot of male daycare teachers tend to be creepy and prey on kids. So I guess I can just make a whole sweeping generalization that men shouldn't be daycare teachers. Period. When you make sweeping generalizations that are of serious nature, it's not okay. Even the insinuation, and I feel like it was an insinuation, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I felt like it was an insinuation that, like, not Asian people, and it's mainly just people in Japan, are very much okay with, like a 13-year-old being with, like, a 20-year-old or something. And it's like, it's just this thought. And I get what she was saying, because there does need to be reform in our country, hell. And I used to live in the US, by the way. There needs to be reform in many countries, including Japan, about their laws when it comes to children, stuff like that. But there's just not enough data to be able to make not the accusations, but the generalizations, and just even the theories that she came up with. Because they're theories at this point, because she has no real data behind them. She's just making connections wherever she can. She has a really bad case of what's it called? What's the confirmation bias? I already say this. She makes a very, she's just really terrible about it. Like, to the point where I'm just like, okay, so you just found any information that confirmed what you thought, not even if it, even if it didn't confirm it, you found information that could confirm it. If I stretch the imagination and I say it does, it's not how it works. And I just feel like she just didn't do enough research on the topic. And she turned something that was more of like, this is my opinion, how I feel, which I've said things like this before. It's how I feel. It's weird. I don't like it. Or I'm not really fucking with it like that. To, it's a fact. You're going to jail. It's weird. It's considered this here. It's that. And it's like, I get that even she did say at one point that, like, here it's kind of like wobbly when it comes to what's the word I'm looking for? The laws. But no. You're not gonna go to jail for this. If you have this on your computer, you're not gonna go to jail for it. If you go to a porn site and it's there, you literally won't go to jail for it. There are straight up artists who make stuff like this all the time. Like, the child-coded thing is weird. If it's not a child, I don't, like, even her argument of, like, what she considers a child. There are dense, dumb, childlike characters who are literally not children. What are you gonna say about that? You're gonna say, oh, well, they're children because they're acting like children. Well, they're not. They don't fit the height requirement. People have different personalities. That's all I'm gonna say. So you can't really make that argument, and a judge couldn't really make that argument. Can't really make that argument, because it's like, bro, people have different personalities. There are characters similar to this who are adults. So how is this a attribute of children when we can have very many and plentiful examples of that not being the case? Just even her criteria for child-esque characters it's not, it doesn't fit under the umbrella that she thinks it does. In her mind, yes, that's how it works. It's crazy because she said that, like, well, it was either the internet doesn't live in a vacuum or something like that. But again, she doesn't understand her words and her logic have to apply to her. It doesn't live in a vacuum. When you're watching anime and you're purely thinking about anime, yes, all this makes sense in your head by yourself in your room. When you go outside of that and actually do research that's not just confirmation bias, this stuff literally starts to break down and disintegrate like under you, because your logic is just filled with holes. Her research is just filled with holes. Everything she talked about was just filled with, it was Swiss cheese. It was ridiculous. Some of it didn't even make sense. Some of it was just she could have had good points and good arguments if it wasn't based off of it's my way or the highway. And I get I get how some people can think that. But especially when you're so loud and wrong and saying that you did your research and this is the end result, I can't. I just can't. I don't understand, and I don't think I ever will understand. And so I'm not done talking about this, but I'm done rambling like a monster. uh, uh, I knew something was off when I heard the tone in her video. Yeah, we're talking about I want to say normalities is how it's said. I might be wrong. Also, I'm sorry if I'm not angry at her, honestly. I can say this all calmly. I'm angry because I'm sick and I'm on my period and I'm cramping. So it's mainly just like heightened by like my stomach feeling like it wants to explode on me right now. So, and my uterus dying. you know. Uh Also, hello. I see you. I'm sorry. I actually kind of agree with normality and a lot of stuff. Also, I think kid coding agreement can be applied to anime like Dragon Maid. I understand what she's saying. Again, with Dragon Maid, I can understand what she's saying. It's the sweeping generalization that like, see, Dragon Maid's just like all these other fucking things or something similar, and it's like this is a case. If she treated it solely, which she did not, and I don't think she can make that. She could try to make the argument with me, but I got shit behind me of her own words. If it was just, if she treated it like how she's actually treating it, which is that this is all just in a vacuum, you know, that this is just her opinion, how she feels on this specific anime. Got you. Understand what you're saying. You're good. But when it's every anime and all people or all this or people who just do this and she's just very loud and wrong, it makes me not be able to do it. Again, I agree with her on that. It's creepy and you can very much make an argument for it. I can make a whole video argument of why I think I think I already did, or I've talked about this before, where it's like, I understand that this is weird and it makes me uncomfortable. I don't like stuff like this. I don't feel like, that's what I'm looking for. I don't feel like any of the fan service and the weird, like this type of like Dragon Maid type stuff really needs to exist. It's just, I don't think it does. But my real issue is, do I think it's CP? And do I think the people who make it are predators? Or do I think that there's any connection there? No. I just don't have the resources to be able to say, or to accurately, like with a matter of fact, say that that's what it is. I just don't. She doesn't. You notice how there was not one statistic about this specific thing in her video. She literally had to pull up a case where someone had actual child porn in the manga just to be able to make her point. Like, she had to stretch just to make the point. I can understand her making the point of it's weird, that's uncomfortable, that it's not necessary. I can get that. But when you make a sweeping generalization about something as serious as pedophilia and who people are, and people have done this, and people will call people pedo, I don't understand that. Even people will call people pedos for doing stuff like this. No, because again, that would apply to her because she's drawn stuff like this, where she has sexualized in some way, shape, or form a child. I've watched this my entire life. I'm gonna tell you right now. Call me a child predator. Do it. I'll beat the shit out you. I'll get in. Listen. I'm nice and I'm very sweet. I try to be very quiet in my real life. That will be the day quiet me leaves my body and I'll beat the dog shit out you. C4. You guys know I'm triggered by stuff like that. I don't fuck with stuff like that. And it's not, don't you ever call me. That'll be the day you get beat up. That'll be the day your teeth are knocked out of your skull. I get very sensitive about that topic in general. And that's kind of my problem. And I'm not saying necessarily that she's calling everybody who ever watched that type of stuff predators, but even just the thought that it's normalized to you, and that's what, for something to be normalized to you, that means, how can I explain what I'm saying? There would have to be an effect there, if that makes sense. I mean, and maybe not all the time, but in this case, there would be an effect. Like if somebody was really normalizing like child predator behavior or watching something that you would consider CP. She said it was CP. She considers it CP. If that were the case, that doesn't just have your mind be the same after that. You don't just, oh no, I can just go back. Pedophilia, oh, I'm going to the specifics of pedophilia, which I don't want to do. Pedophilia is like a mental disease. Like, I don't want to say it like that, but it is. You know what I mean? You don't come back from that. That's not something that's like, oh, well, if I stop watching anime like that, I'll be normal again. That's not how it works. That's why you shouldn't touch arguments like that. That's not how it works. If that was really normalized to us to where it's just okay and it's normal, cuties wouldn't be a problem for us. Hell, even if that were the case, a lot of us would be then. I could basically make the accusation some of us touch kids. I could basically make the accusation that she's a creep because of the art that she made about the My Hero Academia people, which I still want to know what age she made that at. That's my question, because I don't know how far back this is. But I want to know what age she made that at. But also, if it's any type of, or it's anything during adulthood, and you can't make the excuse of like, well, you know, she can't even make the excuse of, well, you know, they're muscular, they don't look like kids, they are in school the entire time. She drew Kirishima and Todoroki, so you knew that. It very much gives a school days vibe the entire time. They're in classes, they're talking about responsibilities, they're talking about their parents, they're talking about living with their parents. There's no way she can make the argument, well, I thought they were like adult-like characters, like something in like Jujutsu Kaisen where they look more adult-like. You can't make that argument. So it's just a whole clusterfuck of shit, you know what I mean? And that's kind of my main problem. Excuse me. I'm not gonna lie, she made some good points, but some of them weren't hitting. Like, boy, she made good points. Her approach was terrible. Her research was terrible. Her examples were terrible. A lot of her points were terrible. Her video could have been good. She could have been great, but as soon as she gets past her confirmation bias and her "I'm right" or "it's my way or the highway" mentality, and stops acting like there was just on my what, I think half a million plus viewed video, there was just these petty comments who didn't know what they were talking about. Bitch, I know for a fact you got DM'd or got actual comics explaining why you're wrong and explaining the Swiss cheese holes in your theory. Like, don't act like it was just petty shit. And in this video, you're gonna get the exact same thing. I didn't have a video that did as well as yours did, and I still had people poking holes in my logic. So shut up. You know damn well there are people making actually good points, but because you want to be right so bad, you didn't even hear about. And that's kind of my point. We're talking about the recent video that she made, and the video before that. I'm also making references to her other videos, because she made other videos about like the sexualization of women in anime and stuff like that. And she made those videos, and again, she's sexualizing these boys in the exact same way. But you know what? It's hypocrisy, and she could have been. And to be fair, and I probably should put this in the video, but you know, if somebody brings this point up in the comments, that's fine. I probably won't insert it. But to be fair, if these images that she made where she was making like weird, weird like ship art of the kids from My Hero Academia, if it was when she was younger, that's fine. It still doesn't mute my point. Honestly, it really doesn't. I think some anime creators do some creepy stuff towards children, but I think she needs to be more clear about the anime she's talking about. Uh, Wait, she did it. Oh yeah, no, let me show you because that's what I was about to do. She, they're not outwardly where I can be like, oh, this is like a clear example of what she's saying. I think I realized that. I might have said that in the video. I don't know. I'm sick. I don't remember what I said entirely. But these are still very hypocritical. These are very still hypocritical picture. Well, I can't show you the other one because it's like a. Why does that do that? I don't know why, but for some. Oh, it's because it's a different type of thing. Some don't come up or some don't come off as like JPEGs or PNG, so I can't put it into Clip Studio. But this is example of one. This is the one I'm going to use anyways. These like this is yeah. Yeah, you could make the argument, and there are other ones of like Todoroki. I think it was Todoroki, Bakugo, and Midoriya kissing, and then there was one I think of like I don't know. It's weirdly sexually intense. I wouldn't say scene, but like thing of it was a lot. it was just a lot, and not like a lot of them, but just like a lot to explain. But you can literally just look up her name. I think no, I think if you look up her name on Twitter, then you can actually just find these images. And again, while I wouldn't say these are direct comparisons, I could call her a fucking creep for this type of shit because why are you making this? I don't even make shit like this. Like I don't get it. Why is it like that? Oh, right, because it was on Tumblr, I think, or it was on some social media site she uses. I don't know if it was Tumblr or not. Can I crop this? I can maybe crop it. Can I crop it? Give me a second. Let me see if I can crop this because I'm making the thumbnail still. I need to remember that. No, but I could probably like erase it. Can I erase it? Is there the option? I don't think there's the option. What? I didn't know that. God, that's a lot easier. I didn't know that was even there. Damn, that would be easier. I need to look at these options more on Clip Studio. But yeah. Yeah. So she's now a raging hypocrite on top of all of that. And again, these all could be from when she was younger, but I maybe like I don't even if they were, why post them? That's my question. Even if they were, you actively went out of your way to post them, which I can still make the argument that you're a creep. Again, when you have such flimsy logic in certain things, and you're saying like it's not your opinion, it's fact, or you're presenting it as if it's fact, people can make the same flimsy arguments. So even if it's flimsy, or I feel like it's a flimsy argument, I could still make it because like we're gonna make flimsy arguments here, I got one. Here, let me see if I can crop this in a good way and I don't have to fucking go on my computer and fucking crop it. I don't want to do that. Give me a second. Here, if I turn it to 100%, I can just... Oh, did I not do it? Oh, no, I didn't... Why is it doing that? What? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was wondering, like, where's the thing here? We do that, and then get rid of that. And so... Okay. That's a soft thing. Sorry. Anyways. It's a whole thing. Again, she made decent points. It's just the delivery was terrible. And again, if it was just her being like it's specific to this thing that I'm talking about, or other specific anime that not generalized to people and not making connections were actual pedophiles who actually went to jail and people who like even the fact that she said she did her research and she said that it's not okay here but it's okay in Japan because it's illegal here, but is it because you have it on your computer and you know what I mean? Again, I keep reiterating this because I want you guys to understand. I don't fuck with this type of stuff. It's weird to me. However, I am not going to sit here and I don't implore anyone to sit here and call someone a predator. Anyone a predator for making this stuff, period. It's just you're not a predator. You can be weird. I can classify you as weird, any of that, but you cannot confidently say that that person is a predator. You just can't. You'd be lying and you'd be slandering. And I don't fuck with people doing that. They did that. We've been doing that all fucking year where we've been calling people predators, especially in the art community or any community period. We've been calling people predators when they are clearly not predators. And when we're saying shit like that and then we're letting actual predators just go because they're falling under the radar, we're not even watching what they're doing because we're talking about people who aren't predators. The whole thing. It's been a thing for a while now, and I fucking wanted to make a video on it, but I hate making videos about like predators. It's actually very uncomfortable for me, and just talking about it makes me feel very uncomfortable. It triggers me to a point, but this is enough. You know what I mean? Oh man, I'm actually disappointed. I don't know what I assume that you mean by the picture, but yeah. Again, I'm not gonna shit. I don't want to say shit on her. I'm not going to say anything in the sense of predator or anything like that about these pictures. However, I am going to say that I wish I could move her back. I could, but then I have to move back her whole thing. A lot of work. That's good enough, I think. Yeah. I should have moved her back a little bit, but it's too late. I've already made the mistake, so it's fucked. There's this, and then I need a picture of the girl from Dragon Maid. Again, when you're dealing with stuff like this, again, if it's your opinion, that's fine, but don't. You have to realize that your opinion, what you say, you can't be a hypocrite. Your opinion and what you say applies to you. If you say something is child porn, you can't then show it in your video and then say that it's bad. You literally just distribute child porn to people who might be underage, people who might be overage, people who might be creeps. You literally just were like, this is porn or this is illegal, and I'm going to do it and show you that I'm doing it and admit to doing it. You gotta use your common sense, and I just wish people would. And speaking of that, there's another video that I was going to talk about. And you guys can talk about this still as well. But I don't remember his name. I can show his Twitter. And this is not to attack him. By the way, don't attack her. Don't attack him. You shouldn't be attacking anybody over this. I just wish people had common sense. But don't attack anybody off of this. I'm just showing his Twitter because I would look up his YouTube right now, but I don't think I have, like, the name saved, and it took me a long time to find the name in the first place. Do I not have a Twitter saved either? Or did he delete his Twitter? What? Okay, I'm sure I can find it on YouTube then. That was a gross sound I made. Yeah, I understand. I get it's weird. I don't think I've ever made any type of art like that. Am I being a hypocrite? I gotta remember, because I don't remember ever making. No, I don't think I did. Yeah. I don't think I did. But yeah, when you do stuff like that, again, you have to. It all applies to you. Okay, let me show you the. I can just show you the video, or not the video, but the person, the video responses on screen. I'm gonna make this one next. Where's my window capture? I'm gonna make sure it's capturing the right thing before I do this. I don't have anything bad on here. I just don't want random shit to come up. Nope, that's not the one I'm looking for. This one. Yeah. There we go. This is the video I'm this is the video I'm referring to. It's by this guy. I don't know. I don't want to pronounce that right now because if I pronounce it wrong, I'm gonna beat myself up about it. Basically, if you didn't know, basically, if you don't know what this video is, oh look, there's my thing. If you don't know what this video is or what it's about or anything like that, I will explain it to you. This is a video by this user. The name's right there. I don't know why his YouTube doesn't come up. He has a decent amount of subscribers now. I don't know why his YouTube never comes up when this happens. But this user, this user, the goat person, made a video talking about racism. Cause oh joy, my suffering continues. he made a video, I want to say like some days ago, about racism, and it got deleted. And his argument is why slavery should be a thing. I don't know how else to tell you how I didn't understand how he was gonna come out with that one. I saw that title and I saw people talking about it. I'm like, I don't know how I don't know, Chief. The only argument I could maybe understand, and that's what the argument I thought he was going for, was how slavery was good for some people. That's an argument I can understand because it was. That's kind of the point of them doing it, is because it was comfortable for the people who was enslaving the other people. That argument I can work for. That's a true statement, actually. I can get around that. We can understand this. That's good. That's a good argument. Because it's true, it's fact, actually. But then he went somewhere else. He went somewhere totally left. Just like, what? And me and my boyfriend sat down and watched it, and we were just like, oh, we didn't understand. And then, like, the weird foot stank thing, it was so much. Like, I wish I could show you his video in mine, but my video would probably get taken down. But I can really explain it to you. If you do want to watch it, there are re-uploads of it, by the way. There are re-uploads. I think if you go on his Twitter, you look up his name and you go on his Twitter, you could find, I think he has a link to it, or a link to a Google Doc with it. And again, don't attack him, but his argument was that it's good for everybody. Slavery and then segregation. And he's another one of those, if you just listen to my point, you'd understand what I'm talking about. And if you can't listen to my point, then you obviously don't know what you're talking about. And it's just like, bro, what? What are you talking about? Who are you? What do you mean? I don't get it. Like, that was me the entire time. I was like grabbing my boyfriend and just like, what do you mean? I don't understand. Like, I get some people want to justify their racism. I get it. But he was actively, how can I explain this? This man was actively contradicting himself, and it was worse than like normalities. They were actively contradicting themselves in every other sentence, it felt like. But maybe it's because the video was 10 minutes, but it felt like it was 20. I don't know how to explain it. It was just like, what are you talking about? And I heard him out, okay, throughout the entire video. I watched the whole thing. I heard him out. It still never made sense. It still never made sense. Because he was talking about how countries were stronger because they segregated from other like races, but also talked about how they enslaved their own race, but still tried to make the argument that they were unified and stronger, but then also talked about their poverty and how shitty their country is. But I'm like, how does that work? Also, I don't think he knows that trades exist, because in the bubble of his bullshit, it works. But when it comes to trading, like materials and stuff like that, we do that between countries all the fucking time. And if we had segregation, we were all just working against each other, or we were hating each other, we wouldn't want to trade with each other or trust each other enough to do that. So then the resources which are drying up, because some resources just don't exist in some places, or they're just not plentiful. It's a whole thing. That's what trades are for. That's what allied, like, he doesn't understand that during wars there were allied forces. Shocker, there were allies in wars. Like, he's almost act like he didn't understand that. And the allies weren't the same race, they were all different races. And he kept talking about like China being like almost like a superpower of a country, but not realizing that Japan and Korea came from China. Like, because they were shitty toward their own people, 2 to 3 other places came from that place because of their hatred, not just towards not just towards other people, but toward their own people, and how shitty it is. So segregation only works if we hate against the groups that don't look like us. Well, guess what? Some Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese people are darker and they were discriminated against. Do you not get this? Like, it's almost like he didn't read. Same thing with normality. Sometimes they just didn't read past the sentence that, went with their confirmation bias. And I was like, I don't get what you're trying to say. Like, I get the point you're trying to make. It just doesn't work if you look into it for more than 10 seconds. And then he tried to talk about the crime rate with black people, and I almost wanted to give him something. But it's sad because even the statistic that he put out there were for teenagers. I'm like, no. Show it for the whole minority group. Because you'll realize that white people almost at this point do as many violent crimes as black people, but you're not going to show that statistic because it pokes holes in your theory. Okay, so you don't even believe what you're saying because you had to go out of your way to show the first statistic either you saw or the first statistic that shows that you're right in some way. Because if you want to do it toward black teenagers, it's probably already a whole thing with them. But show with the adults. Because realistically, from some people's belief, and mine is one of those, if there wasn't such a bias against my people, that number would probably be more 50-50 than it is 54. It was like, I think it's like 50-40. It'd probably be more 50-50, if not 50-45. You get what I'm saying? So, like, what are you talking about? We're all confused, so please let us into this secret about racism that you know that we don't. I question how old this kid is because maybe he just hasn't heard about history and wars and stuff like that. Maybe that's what it is. Also, it's crazy that he talks about segregation, how great it is, and how we'd all be better for it, but then still talks about slaves. Segregation and slaves aren't like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he contradicts himself. You can't talk about how we need to be segregated and then also talk about how we need to enslave other people and use them and not be segregated. I'm hitting myself right now because, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just trying to process what he said still. And it's been like a day or so. What are you talking about, my dude? Like, my nigga, what are you talking about? Also, if that were the case, why? I don't think he understands. Everything has to go both ways. White people did not invent everything. Black people invented a significant amount, and during slavery, they weren't able to just do stuff like that. Hell, probably some of their inventions and something that they made were most likely, I'm almost certain, were stolen. So if you're gonna say that, then technological advances probably won't be as much as they are now. Just because you like it's I mean, just fact. He talked about some psychologists, which is fucking with his crazy crackpot theories, and I just when you're talking about when we have science, like the science we have now, where we can literally show you data in 10 seconds, and you're using somebody from 19 nothing to explain your point, like this guy that used to, have dysentery and like shit himself to death. He probably died shitting himself. That guy, that guy with the theory that everybody had to literally correct, and people have very much proven wrong. But that guy, the first guy, the one who probably thought ants were some superhuman being and didn't understand how they carried some, the guy who thought, the word I'm looking for. God, I had a whole analogy in my head that was funny to me, but some guy that probably thought space only went as far as our galaxy. That man that probably didn't even know there was a fucking galaxy. That guy, him, we should listen to him and his crackpot theories. No. No, we have science here for a reason in this time period. I'm not drawing because I'm just so confusing. I'm confusing. Uh, oh, wait. This is about normalities. True, didn't she say that the scene in Dragon Maid with Kana was disgusting, then edited it and put it in her video? Yes, yes, yes. See, you're getting it. You're getting it now. It's disgusting. It's she literally talked about how this guy made child porn, and then went on to put in, and I'm assuming either censor or found a censored version of said child porn. It's what are you talking about? Like I don't get it. She's crazy. He already lost the argument. He really did. He then the guy we're currently talking about. He already lost the argument. He was listen. Even I didn't know the foot fetish thing was a thing. I didn't know the foot fetish thing was a thing. He really kind of lost the argument once my boyfriend had told me that that was like a fetish thing. I was like, what? Why would you do that? Even if you were serious, why would you seriously put a fetish thing in a video like this, but to still be able, but still with your whole chest be telling people you need to watch the entire video and listen to all my points before you say anything. It's hard to listen to it when there's feet that stink on the screen. I don't know what you want from me. I don't understand. Bro, of course it's a push fetish. Yeah, I don't. Damn, it sounds like made like damn, it sounds like I didn't say. I'm assuming that you made and tear down his own argument in the same. He made and tear down his own argument in the same sentence. He really did. He really did. He really did. And there was just so much more. I really need to be actually editing. But there was so much more of just like, bro, I'm trying. Help me help you, please. Like I want I want to try to, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to, I want to try to believe this is like a troll thing or something like that. But it's just looking like it's not. Every time I watch the video or I look at it, I'm like, he is dead serious. Like he is real life dead serious. I just wish I could you guys can look it up, but I wish I could show you and break it down piece by piece of why it doesn't even make any sense. But like I think we all know why it doesn't make sense, obviously, But I don't know if this is a kid or not. That's another thing. I don't know if like this is a baby. Because if this is a baby, then okay, you just haven't gone through like a good geometry, or not geometry, I'm dumb. A good history class. You just, that's what it is. Because like I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't. Wait, what? Oh yeah, I forgot about this. In her drag maid video, she made the talk about fucking knee, not knee socks, but different type of length socks and what they need, and I'm like, or what, like, I don't. It's. I'm trying. I'm okay with both these people. I'm getting a headache. With both these people, I'm just trying really desperately hard to try to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're just misinformed. I'm trying to do what she wants to do for all the dumb people who don't understand her argument or don't understand his argument. Both of them, really. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt and kindly correct them on how they're misinformed or wrong. And it's like, it's hard because I want to believe people are smarter than this. We're talking about normalities, or we were talking about normalities at first, but now we're talking about, I forget his name, but this Flish Fish guy. Uh, God, I want to, I could just write their name on this. Well, no, you watch it back. I'm gonna keep this up. You watch it back, and I'm making a video about both of them, so you'll know who I'm talking about. Just a foot fetish guy, this guy who tried to say that racism should be a thing. We need more segregation. We need slaves. We need racism. It was a whole. We need racism and hate, and it was just I just need. They need some help. They need some help. They need help. But the girl, she wasn't trying to do that. She was trying to talk about how, excuse me, sorry. She was trying to talk about how, uh, I guess lolicon, I would say, or not even, it wasn't just lolicon, by the way. It was literally lolicon and things like short, child-looking female characters. So most short characters in anime are like child coded, and that it's child, like if you draw them in that type of position, it's child porn. If you draw the children characters in that position, like, well, I mean children characters, even just teenager, it doesn't matter. That's child porn, and the people, it was a whole thing. And while again, I'll give her that that's creepy stuff. I don't approve it. I'm not here for it. She was insinuating a lot that the people were predators, and while there's no connect, she really couldn't really make a good connection, in my opinion, to that and drawing porn uh of shorter anime characters, or I guess technically child anime characters. I still think that's weird, and I'll question your motives there. That she tried to make those connections between that and actual predators, as she proceeds to see that thing on screen that I'm showing you, that white drawing of that kind of sexualized Bakugo. She drew that. As she did that, as she downloaded and distributed, by her own words, by her literal video itself, her distributing and downloading child pornography, her argument fell apart. And we were talking about how it fell apart and my problems with it. And again, I'm making a video on it today, so you're probably just gonna see a video on it literally today. I need to finish this video now because it's like 3 o'clock for me, so I need to finish this. But I finished the thumbnail rather. I don't even need to finish the video. I just need to add some stuff at the beginning so it's just not like a white screen. And so we're talking about a lot today. We're talking about a lot, and I probably actually will get off soon. I just want to read some of what you guys had said. Excuse me if I'm like sniffling and shit. I'm sorry. I'm sick. I'm on my period. It's a whole thing. So I'm sniffling. My bad. It's gross. I know. Like, I wish I could stop, but I don't have any cough medicine. I'm sorry. By her logic, let me say this. By her logic, like, let me actually, I just saved the picture actually. So I'll show you right now. By her logic, let me get my picture out. And again, you can tell by me trying to say, let me get the picture out, that this is not what this is. This would be considered sexualizing children, and if you drew this person naked or you drew them fucking some other child looking character, that would be considered child porn. It's illegal here. It's a whole thing. She literally had, you can go to her video, she literally had pictures of like anime porn-esque images that whether she blurted out or somebody else did, she had those in her video. In her logic, she downloaded and distributed child porn. By her logic, not by mine, not technically by the legal system. By her logic, she has child pornography on her computer at this moment, whether she downloaded or whether she had it at one point, because I don't know if she deleted it or not, and she distributed it in the internet and admitted to it. She did a crime in the United States and admitted to doing that, and then distributed it to like. You get what I'm saying? That was my whole biggest part of her argument, was that she was saying that and then did it. And then was just like, yeah, that makes sense. What? What are you talking about? You're crazy. That's what she put in her news video, by the way, yes. That's what she put in her news video. So that's the whole thing. We're talking about racism and CP. I probably shouldn't be saying child porn outwardly, but we're talking about, that's what we're talking about. CP and stuff like that. Probably, I should put a warning at the beginning of my video. That's actually something I should do. Yeah, I should do that. So that's another thing I have to edit. I need to not be, yeah. Okay, so, yeah, the socks argument, the socks argument was dumb. It was so dumb. I get that socks can be sexy. Anything can be sexy. Feet can be sexy. Like, some people have foot fetishes. Some people have pee fetishes. Does that mean it's in every scenario? That's what it is? No. Like, what are you talking about? Some people, pigtails can be sexy. That could be a sexual thing. For some people, let me think of something. Let me think of something else. I don't know that many like kinks like that, so I don't really know everything. Like, mainly everything you can think of could be like considered a fetish. Anything. Even there are literally even like well-known fetishes out there that we just don't really realize are that. Like, it's a whole thing. It was just dumb. I didn't understand. Just call him foot fetish. I don't want to associate him with the furry community like that. Like, I don't mind furries, nor do I care if somebody's a furry. But like, the foot fetish part was just like, it's inappropriate for the video that was made. Alright, when you're talking about how slavery should be a thing, maybe just don't have that on screen. It's a little bit inappropriate. Like, just a little bit inappropriate. It just don't, I can't. But didn't the girl sexualize Bakugo? Yeah. 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 Yeah, she did. That's what she put in her video, yeah. And she edited the clips and all. Edited them and all. Edited them and all. It was a whole thing. I know I sounded like I was having a stroke just now, but she did it all. Okay, I think we have explored this topic enough. I'm going to finish this thumbnail. I'm going to finish editing this video. And I'm gonna get off this topic. And again, when I say I'm angry, I'm not necessarily angry at them. Frustrated, irritated, yeah. Not angry. I'm just angry because my uterus is falling out. So there's that. But thank you for coming. Thank you for coming and listening to my nothing rambles. Remember, laws apply to you as well. Think before you act. Just see, maybe just check or try to check with somebody else that doesn't agree with you if maybe you have confirmation bias. Um, don't just look for like one thing that confirms what you say in an article. Maybe just look through the entire article. You know what I mean? I think I already said that laws apply to you and shit that you say applies to you, so you can't be a hypocrite about it. Just remember all of that, kids. You know, we all can be hypocrites, but this level of hypocrisy is too much. Bro, want a Cuban sandwich? Yeah, I kind of do. I'm hungry now. I know you were saying in general, but now I want one because I'm hungry. Like I am. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bye. Bye 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 bye.